sure.
Hey, this is great weather, though, for one sport we all know about.
Yes.
If you like ice, you're going to like the Icemen.
Yeah.
Tim Mattila is with us, the head coach of the Rockford Icemen. They've won so many trophies. Like I said, if they gave him rings for all the championships he won, he'd probably be wearing them on his toes, too. Hey, Tim, how you doing today?
It's funny you say that because I've got all the rings on a string right now. You just put them in a box.
There you go. There you go. I know you kind of took a year off, and then you won last year again, so things are pretty much in high gear for the Icemen.
Yeah, I mean, everybody just expects us to win, but it's not the way it works. And certainly we came back and had a good year, and now we're trying to win our last game of the year this year, too.
So how's the season gone so far for you this year?
Well, I mean, there's been ups and downs. We're basically 500. We're 26, 25, and 5. We did lose our number one goalie to a torn meniscus, so he's out for the year, Brandon Roderick. So that put a little pressure on the backup goalie. And when I say number one and number two, when you go into the season on paper, that's the way you look at it. Obviously, and as the season progresses, we play everybody. But Trevor Hawks actually has picked up his game. He's like 94% save in the last 4 games. So, and he's 90% for the season. So he's really stepped up to handle the pressure.
When you look at the Icemen program, it's all different levels, and don't you have like 2 different, like a varsity level and also another one that competes in another league? I know when we talked to you, like I think last year, you had like 2 different teams going on.
Yes, we've got the varsity level, and we're in the Scholastic League, which is basically considered like one of the best high school leagues in the Midwest. You got New Trier Green and Glenbrook North and Loyola Academy and that type of thing. So we were invited to be in that league, and just to give an example, if you go to myhockeyrankings.com, in the top 10, there's 7 teams from our league in the top 10 in Illinois.
Wow!
And so there is no gimme games, and so that's really helped. I'm willing to lose all year to make us better. That being said, I don't like to lose. You know what I'm saying? We like to compete. It'd be like Boylan playing Mount Carmel and Morris every week, like that. You know what I'm saying? For football.
Yeah.
And then we're playing the Central States Hockey League, which is Tier 2 midget hockey for, you got 50-year seniors. Most of the teams that we play against are 50-year seniors, at least 10 of them. We don't have any, maybe 1 if we're lucky. And we play our sophomores, our freshmen, our juniors, and just play the same league. And I just looked at the rankings there, and 6 out of the top 20 in the country, and that's over 400 teams, are in our league. So the last time we lost the number 4 team in the country 4-3, and we outshot them 38-24, to give you an idea. So, I mean, the competition is stiff, and that's what I like.
I know you guys have to do some traveling for some games. What's the longest trip you've made this year?
Let's see. I'm in St. Louis right now. We were in Indy. We've been to St. Louis 3 times.
It's like a home away from home.
Yeah. I'm not a Blues fan somehow.
When you look at your level of hockey, the Icemen, you're considered a combined school team, but you're not with the IHSA. Do you think that'll ever happen where hockey becomes an IHSA sport, or are you guys happy the way things are going right now that you guys can kind of oversee your sport the way you want to?
You know what? It's funny because they try to abide by the same rules as the IHHA, but I guess there's not enough teams that play hockey that they don't want to get involved with it, because then it's just we've looked at it and we've tried, but honestly, there's just not enough teams. And then once again, we wouldn't be able to play this club sport. Basically, that's what this is, by the way. The Central States is midget hockey. It's club sport. You wouldn't be able to double roster, which is what we do, and you wouldn't be able to play 60, 70 games, and you wouldn't. There's a lot of things that you wouldn't be able to do if we were, being ISHA'd, so to speak.
Who have been some of the standouts for the team this year as you guys have gone through the season?
Well, Andy Kropp, who I guess is a baseball player at Boylan, is my leading scorer. He's got 40 goals and 27 assists for 67 points.
Wow.
And he's a junior. Last year he was a sophomore and led my team in scoring.
Wow.
And if you went and watched him play, you would not notice him. He's one of those guys. He's just got that sixth sense. He's got the hockey IQ that's really high. Really good athlete, but not like the fastest, biggest, strongest kid on the ice. but just a really good athlete. And, of course, the baseball thing, I think, is why his hands are so good.
Mm-hmm.
And then John Peary, which I think you saw an article this week
Yep.
that we got from Stevens Point. He's got 24 goals, 23 assists for 47 points. So just notice the difference. Now, that's 20 points difference, and John Peary is crop center, and you'll notice Peary every shift because he's a two-way player.
Mm-hmm.
He goes goal line to goal line, full speed. He's got a high motor and just an unbelievable hard-working kid. And then Blake Miller's got 19 goals, 23 assists for 41 points. So those are three of our top guys. Certainly defenseman-wise, we've got Reno Murphy and Brett Stewart are two of the best defensemen. They should be getting invitation to the showcase, which is, the top players in Illinois to go play against the other teams in the country. I mean, they're that good. So, and then of course my goalie right now, the so-called backup at the beginning of the year, is playing outstanding hockey. So you just don't know.
The kid you picked up from Wisconsin, Peary, that was a nice addition, and Hononiga's done that before. They got Alex Martin that plays football there, and I guess his dad got a job as a pilot, so you need to write that company a nice letter and say thank you for sending this family to Rockford, don't you think, Coach?
Yeah, he is the gift from Wisconsin. I went to Sun Prairie High School back in my day, and Stevens Point has always been good hockey.
Mm-hmm.
They got the college there, and they've won some national championships there in their college team, and their high school teams usually going to state. Last year, I think they were at least made the Final 8. And the cool thing was, when he went back for Christmas, he skated with his old team, and the coach said, "Boy, John, I can't believe how well you passed." Because when he was a freshman and a sophomore, they just had him go up the right side and skate as fast as he can and shoot. And of course, we don't believe in that. We like to teach the guys to have the 5-man unit and play as a group. And he's really made the jump, and because of that, also because of his hard work, obviously. When you work that hard in practice, you just get better by accident. And he's just a joy to watch. And he's the guy that scored the tying goal at the United Center last year. So, yeah, I mean, if I can get guys like that coming over, you're right. But we can't recruit, but I'll certainly send them a check.
That's right.
I think for a lot of people when they watch hockey, if they haven't played before, they don't realize how much strategy is involved. They just see a lot of people flying up and down the ice. What do you guys try to do on the offensive and defensive end, as far as strategy goes?
Well, that's deep, but let's keep it for the layman, right?
Right.
Defensively, here's my philosophy is I want all 5 guys involved in the offense.
Mm-hmm.
Which means just because you have a defenseman doesn't mean he's supposed to just skate to the blue line and dump it in. If you're a Blackhawk fan or a Detroit Red Wing fan, puck possession, defenseman can go ahead and carry the puck. So all 5 are involved in the offense, and that means if a defenseman does go in deep and go in, then a forward should cover for him. It should be anybody can move the puck, and then when you're down there, you'd like to outnumber whatever team. So the Wayne Gretzky rule was, everywhere on the ice, you want a 2-on-1. And that's how Gretzky changed the whole game. 2-on-1 anywhere on the ice, and you get the advantage. And then I want everybody accountable on defense. So you can all have your hat tricks for your parents, so to speak. But at the end of the day, all 5 guys are accountable on defense. So, and we have in high school hockey and midget hockey, you play more of a zone defense. If you watch pros, it's man-to-man all over the ice. But the problem with that, with our level, and that I've found, because I've tried that, is the transition from offense to defense. So if you're playing man-to-man, and then we get the puck, there's no guy at the right hash marks or left hash marks, so we're not in position to break out. So we don't transition very well. So we play more of a zone, probably, so I compare with basketball, more of like a 2-3 or whatever. And then the other thing we do is we change our forecheck. So if one line we might be sending 3 guys, one line we might be sending 1 guy, and from that standpoint, now the opposing team is trying to make adjustments. Typically, you watch a team and trying to make adjustments while they're sending these 2 guys in hard over here. Well, you know what we did last shift? This shift, we're trapping it. We're sitting everybody back into a 1-2-2 in the neutral zone. So what we like to do is change things up a little bit and be a little creative that way.
We're talking with Tim Mattila, the head coach of the Rockford Icemen. When do we get ready for tournament and stuff again, when you guys can defend that title from last year?
Yeah, well, they just came out with the state rankings for the seedings, and we ended up being the number one team again, which is awesome. And that'll start then late February. And if we can get to United Center, I think it's March 15th or something. I'll let you know when it gets closer. But I mean, basically, right now we're in our Central States playoffs this weekend, and then our Scholastic League playoffs start next Wednesday. And then the high school state tournament starts right after that. So we're basically, every game now has consequences.
How fun was that for your kids to play at the United Center last year?
Oh, that was awesome. I mean, the guys are walking into the rink, and then there's Coach Quenville, and then all of a sudden there's Patrick Kane and Jonathan Tays, and there's Marion Hossa, and they're all talking to my kids, and it was outstanding. Fortunately, we got a good relationship here in Rockford. So the Metro Center, Metro Center, the BMO, Gordon Kay let us practice at the BMO to prepare for the United Center.
Oh, okay.
And I'm telling you the difference when you, especially for the goaltenders, but just as the big picture, seeing the depth of the pucks coming in from a different kind of rink when there's big seats in the stands and all that stuff. They let us prepare and practice at the BMO, which I think really helped us at the United Center. The kids weren't so scared or freaked out when they got there.
I imagine that'd be a fun experience anyway, but being that it's the Stanley Cup champions there and everything, that's really got to be special for the kids.
Well, there you go. And I think, we heard the word is, and this is typical of John McDonough, pretty good marketing genius over there. The Rockford team had been, at state championships for so many years, decided to bring the combined division, which is us, to the United Center. I think a lot of that is because of the Rockford Blackhawk connection.
Yeah, great.
And then we didn't make it that first year. And then last year, he even talked to us. It's like, oh, I'm glad you guys made it back there, So, so I mean, there's a connection, which is weird, but there is a connection between the Blackhawks, Ice Hogs, and Icemen now, and hopefully we can keep it going.
If fans want to come out and check out any of these tournaments along the way, where are some of those going to be played at?
Oh, boy. You know what? If you go to the Rockford Hockey Club or the Rockford Icemen, there's a website, and it has everything. So I don't have the dates in front of me.
Sure.
I'm more of your typical coach. We have a game today. That's all that matters. But if you go to the website, you'd be able to find when we're playing and where we're playing, and actually enjoy yourself.
Well, you're like the rest of us. We got to check the web to find out what's going on. Thanks so much, Coach. We appreciate it. Great job representing Rockford. Good luck today, and hopefully we can talk again. Always good to have you on, and always enjoy your comments and your views.
Well, I appreciate it. You guys do a great job promoting Rockford, and trust me, there's a ton of people that listen to you guys, and I'm one of them, so thank you.
Thanks so much. We've been talking with Tim Mattila, the head coach of the Rockford Icemen, and I'll tell you what, when you win as many championships, you can't even do that in checkers sometimes.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive that he's got all his rings on a string like that. He'll probably be able to make a nice bracelet or necklace out of that here one of these days for his wife or something maybe.
Yeah, and he made a good point before we go to break. Ice Hogs, Blackhawks, and Icemen.
Yeah.
That's three pretty good organizations all working
and you
together.
really do have a connection there with all of them. It's pretty nice.